Hey y'all, it's Kim again. So this is part 9 of the JFK Files. Um, I had to break it up into two, but this just makes it easier and it won't potentially shut off on me or something stupid. So that's why I had to do it this way. Anyway, this is from April of 1978. It says deferred telepouch 271-846Z, Washington 213077 to Brussels from EBNL info, I guess European something or another here. Just all these little codes here. It says WN Intel, NI Flare, NI Gale, Flemish Order of Militants. It says the House Select Committee on Assassinations in connection with its investigation into death of Martin Luther King Jr. has asked for information in RT action files on a number of individuals and organizations, including Flemish Order of Militants, VLAAMSE, Militant, I guess whatever militant in or I don't know VMO. It's a committee request is not limited to immediate period surrounding assassination, but presume its interest focuses on assassin's escape route and support he obtained while in Europe. We have no information on how the VMO came to the committee's attention. We note that the only information we have so far discovered, even mentioning the VMO, is that contained in positive intel in this NI Gale. It says semi-annual reviews of extremist activities. We have not yet dredged these up from library in view NI Gale provision of the material. Would like to both honor committee requests and preserve relationship with NI Gale if possible. Therefore, you request you discuss committee requests with NI Gale management. Does NI Gale have any information which indicates a contact between the VMO and Americans during the period of March 1968 to 70? Would they be willing to provide it? Also, would NI Gale prepare report on VMO for passage to committee? Please also ask NI Gale for permissions to pass the committee VMO excerpts from the semi-annual reviews, either sourced to NI Gale or unsourced if NI Gale would prefer. Please stress that any information provided will be classified and handled as sensitive. And this is Crumvid, I don't know, Althea Guy, Mr. Greg in Substance, and then Harris, Leclerc, Thompson. I guess these are all just the people they would go to. And this says end of message. Do not reproduce. Return to the CIA. Sorry, let me get this out of here. It's bugging me. Okay. And then let's go to the next one. This is from May of 1978. Secret to 051740C. May of 78. Deferred telepouch. And this is also the Brussels, or site is Brussels, and then 51014. I guess it's Gerlich acting. Maybe that's the acting director to Washington for European something or other. And then all these little codes here. Don't know what those are. WI, excuse me, WN Intel, NI Flare, NI Gale, Flemish Order of Militants, Washington 213077. It says surface reference request with NI Gale 75, an effort to avoid discussion by irascible, I guess, NI Trust, but N75 asked for formal note because he will require data from third directorate, which he would not rely on to keep matter between him and them. We're therefore constrained to submit matter to NI Trust in writing. He is not available personally at the moment and will press for early reply. And that's a secret. It says end of message. And then this is from May of 78. This is secret. It says 161212Z, May of 78, deferred telepouch. This is 2 pages. It says site is Brussels 51113, Gerlich acting. And then Washington, whatever the codes are here. This is WN Intel, NI Flare, NI Gale. And then Flemish Order of Militants, Washington 213077. Brussels is 51014-066-1601. It says NI Trust have responded orally to our note concerning passage of NI Gale information on the Vlamsa, I don't even know how you pronounce that, militant or whatever, the VMO to the House Committee on Assassinations. Gist of his comment: he will not pass us information on possible VMO AMSIT contacts because the Freedom of Information Act will place such information at risk. And in general, he will not approve passage of NI Gale information on the VMO to Congress because he has insufficient assurance that the material will not leak. Despite our assurances that the subject would be handled as classified and sensitive, we are awaiting written reply to learn whether there is any give in NI Trust attitude, RE AMSIT aspect. We suspect there is a measure of posturing in NI Trust size in reference B, ACOS/NIGOL, NIG, or that NI Gale 75 discussion. Latter remarked, to the best of his knowledge, the only known VMO connection with American was incident in about early 1977 when the organization met briefly with an American Nazi Party member who had been expelled from the UK and passed through Belgium. He discussed the case with us at the time. The name of the traveler is not recalled by N75 or ACOS. There is no way he can dislodge NI Trust's obvious mindset on the congressional situation. Question of Congress aside, if headquarters can provide specifics on FOIA mechanics, which we can use to counter NI Trust assertion that RT action cannot protect liaison sources providing information on Americans, we should be happy to make such points with NI Trust. It says he is, of course, aware of our sources and methods position, but it's clear that he's not persuaded that we're holding the line. And that's also secret. And then this is, it says the reorganization of the staff structure of the Operations Directorate. I may do this one separate since it has 8 pages. Let me see this one. Yeah, let's do that. I'll do that separate. Okay, this is quick. So this is for May of 78. Secret and deferred telepouch. And then site is Brussels 51185. Gerlich acting to Washington. And then VLAAMSE. And then militant to Nord or something like that. And then Brussels 51113-0705837 is following note received from NI Gale. Only first sentence differs from NI Trust oral stiff arm of reference in telling us what we already surmised about lack of known VMO AMSIT contact in 1968 to 70. We have no information concerning contacts between VMO members and American citizens between 1968 and 70. It appears to us inopportune to prepare a report on the subject of the VMO for passing to members of the House of Representatives Committee We're also opposed to the passage of articles from our quarterly or semi-annual reports to said committee. And then that's secret. So let's go back to this one. I'll go ahead. It says this notice expires 28th of September 1977. DDO notice, and then DON 1-1462 organization, and then 29th of September 1966 or 76, excuse me. A reorganization of the staff structure of the operations directorate. It says the purpose. This notice announces the organization of the operations directorate, the reorganization of the operations directorate staff structure effective 1st of September 1976, and outlines the functions of the new and the redesigned staff components. The new staff organization supersedes that established by the Deputy Director for Operations on 28th of June 1973 and is modified in the interim period. It is the first step of a three-phase long-range reorganization program designed to enable the directorate to conform to the perceptions of the executive and the Congress as to the directorate's role, to adjust flexibility to changing strategies and priorities, and to make most efficient use of personnel and material resources allocated to accomplish the directorate mission. General, the headquarters organization of the operations directorate is comprised of the office of the DDO and its special staffs, the senior staffs in the area and functional operating divisions. This is see figure 1 attached. The office of the DDO, the following staff elements are attached to the office of the DDO and report directly to him and or the associate deputy director of operations, the ADDO. Assistant deputy director for operations for development when approved by the DDCI, the ADDO/D will direct and supervise the establishment of a clandestine corps responsible for the recruitment, training, and dispatch of non-official cover officers to foreign areas and for efforts to develop new techniques, methods, and equipment for non-official cover operations. And then it says Associate General Counsel to the DDO, AGC DDO. The AGC DDO is detailed by the agency's general counsel to provide advice and assistance to the operations directorate. He will work directly with the ADDO, evaluation and program design staff. The EPDS will design and maintain continuous data on funds, positions, personnel on duty, and other such management information as is required by the DDO and the comptroller of the agency. Maintain continuous knowledge of the state or condition of operational activities and achievements, and support activities planned and in progress, including resources used, efforts undertaken, and results. To prepare periodic evaluations of component programs against objectives, including the need for requested resources, evaluations of past results, and projections of future results. Monitor all data collection for purposes of identifying statistical evidence of problems, identifying areas requiring management attention by the DDO, and providing data to be used for internal and external presentations. Review all operational activity approvals to ensure compliance with agency and directorate regulations, and prepare staff recommendations on operational activities which require DDO approval or attention, and provide staff assistance to the DDO on directorate, agency, community, and government data requirements, techniques, and regulations pertaining thereto, undertake special studies as directed by or directed of management issues which affect the efficiency or effectiveness of directorate activities, and then provide staff assistance to the DDO on directorate agency, community, and government evaluation requirements, techniques, and regulations pertinent thereto. Continue to develop production and evaluation techniques and values, and the policy and coordination staff, the PCS. The mission of the policy and coordination staff is to serve as the focal point through which the DDO directs and controls certain activities of the directorate crossing geographic divisional boundaries. It also will assist in formulating and recommending to the DDO policy and doctrine on matters with overall applicability to the directorate. The chief of this staff will act for the DDO and the ADDO if these officers are unavailable. The responsibilities of this staff will include all intelligence related matters, including staff guidance on scientific and technical matters and such activities as crisis management, international terrorism, narcotics, technical operations, and defector operations. Additionally, the staff is the focal point for directorate coordination with the intelligence community staff, the national intelligence officers, other components of the agency, as well as with other agencies of the government. The staff will also be responsible for conducting and monitoring liaison with the principal elements of the intelligence community. It will be responsible for ensuring that the operations and activities of the directorate are in compliance with existing regulations and procedures, and for formulation or revision of regulations and procedures as may be required. In short, this staff will coordinate the paper flow of the deputy director for operations, and in so doing, serve as a central clearinghouse for the movement of paper from the staffs and division to the office of the DDO. This staff also will provide policy focus to issues of common concern affecting directorate-wide activities. It will also provide the support facilities for the DDO's special and senior staffs. And then Senior Review Officer, or SRO. The responsibilities of the Senior Review Officers are described in DO1 5-14, and then Special Assistant for External Oversight, SADO and /O. The responsibilities of SADO are described in, I guess that would be document number, and then 1-1429, and DDO duty office, DDO DO, not shown on figure 1. The responsibilities of DDO DO are described in DO1 or DOI 5-3, senior staffs, career management staff. The career management staff will be responsible for staff advice and support to the DDO on all matters related to organization, manpower planning, personnel management, and administration and training. It will provide staff direction and supervision on personnel management and administration throughout the directorate, and is responsible for ensuring compliance with related agency and DDO directives and procedures, as well as applicable government rules and regulations. Central Cover Staff was the CCS. The mission and functions of the Central Cover Staff remain as prescribed in DOI 1-201 for the former cover and commercial staff. Covert Action Staff, or the CAS. The Covert Action Staff will provide policy, coordination, guidance and support for Directorate Covert Action Operations. It will be the Office of Record and Clearinghouse for all external policy clearance of covert action operations and programs. Its specialized services and operations support responsibilities will include issuance of propaganda guidance and related background, production of tailored, non-attributable media and other background materials in support of authorized covert action operations, advice, guidance, and operational support in the fields of black propaganda and deception operations, and support to and participation in agency covert action training programs. The special operations mission and functions of the CAS are prescribed in DOI 1-17 for the Special Operations Group, with the addition of Special Operations Intelligence Center, which will provide crisis management support to the ODDO and area divisions, particularly order of battle and briefing aid support, U.S. mission evacuation planning and support, including CIA representation in the Washington Liaison Group and all source intelligence, special operations, research, and graphic support to SOG, counterintelligence staff is CIS. The responsibilities of the counterintelligence staff remain as set forth in DON 1-1339, with the exception of paragraphs 2F3 and 3D of that notice as they relate to conduct of deception operations. See also 4C, 1C above. Information service staff, ISS, is management or manage the operations directorate's records and information control system, maintain the foreign counterintelligence index for the United States government, oversee directorate compliance with laws, orders, and regulations regarding record keeping, provide career development services and training for records management, computer and micrographics specialists assigned to the directorate, and serve as the directorate focal point for Privacy Act and Freedom of Information Act matters and other litigation involving directorate information, and handle and coordinate all Privacy Act and FOIA requests addressed to the Operations Directorate. International Activity Staff, so the IAS, the International Activities Staff will be responsible for monitoring the activities of and developing operations into the permanent staffs of worldwide organizations, including the United Nations and its specialized agencies, the international staff of communist parties, foreign labor organizations that are international in scope, treaty organizations such as NATO and the EC, foreign multilateral trade organizations, and foreign-owned companies and commercial organizations with truly international status, such as foreign-owned banks, tourism, and sports, coordination of CIA relationships with the Israeli liaison services, including provision of headquarters, guidance and support to the Tel Aviv station, provision of staff guidance for the coordination of directorate operational efforts in the fields of international economics and energy, in developing specific scientific and technical operations, provisions of staff guidance for and coordination of directorate efforts against international communism, and the development of specific operations in this field, monitoring the activities of certain foreign intelligence organizations outside their national boundaries in close coordination with the covert actions and counterintelligence staff. Operating divisions, the area and functional divisions will continue as depicted in Figure 1 attached. And this is William W. Wells, Deputy Director of Operations. This is secret. Oh, so here you go, like a chart. So DDO, ADDO, AGC DDO, evaluation and program design staff, ADDO development, clandestine corp, oversight, senior review, staffs, division, policy and coordination staff, career management, central cover, East Asia, Near East Asia, and Southeast Asia or South Asia, uh, domestic collection division, covert action, counterintelligence, Europe, Africa, Division D, information services, international activities, Latin America, Soviet, East, European, and then foreign. I'm just going left to right, but I know this is technically the way that you would go. Like, boop, these are all together, and then these are all together, and these are all together. But anyway, that is the second part of part 9 of the JFK files. I want to get some more of these done because I know there's a whole bunch of them. And it's just interesting looking through the documents. I mean, it's just kind of giving us a look into the like CIA and stuff like that. I mean, if you don't know much about it and it's, you haven't really read up about any of this stuff, I mean, I don't know. It's just interesting to me. But anyway, I hope you'll have a good Friday. I've got more videos I need to do. I need to do Lefties Lose It. And there's plenty of those. And I need to go back to all my IG saved videos and memes and everything else. But anyway, I'm going to do some more videos. I might eat a little bit of lunch and then come back. But anyway, I'll talk to y'all in a little bit. Like, share, and subscribe. Talk to you later. Bye.